Alright guys, Fitz back here for yet another game here, and spawn here at the 12 o'clock on Aztec. It will be UED Gaming's, or UED Sidorian League's Gaming's Temp0 here, who lost to DT's last game, and his opponent will be the purple Protoss mmahirr, who won from DT's last game. There isn't really else much to really talk about from that game. So I don't really know each other's playstyles really that well. All I can really tell you is that it ended with Temp0 going for a build that I've always talked about. I just haven't talked about it more recently. It's just a 3-gate speed lot timing push that can be very, very powerful. And yeah, so I don't know if he's gonna do the same thing right here or not. I'll be interested if he is or not, because I don't know. That'd always be interesting. So, you know, identical pylons. However, mmahirr is actually doing a pylon scout. This may identify that he may want to do some cheese super early on, or Temp0 really wants to get an economic edge in this mirror match. I don't really know. But yeah. Dun 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 dun. You know, I can actually never figure out, because apparently I reset the shuffle of the playlist that plays, and for whatever reason, it will play the same songs over and over again. Like, it won't be like I always use that intro song for one of the three. I have one of 3 intro songs, and then all of a sudden we'll have like a Link song, and they've always been playing. Like, it's not like it'll always be this song right after I choose that song, but it's just they'll just randomly they'll recycle through the same songs. I mean, once in a great while we'll get some other song, but yeah. And, alright, so we have, it looks like we're gonna have some kind of standard play, maybe. I wouldn't be behind these players, at least mmahirr, or, yeah, I guess mmahirr. Well, both these players didn't really go generic builds. Like, they didn't go, like, 2-gate Zealot. They didn't go, you know, 2-gate, 3-gate, 4-gate Goon. They went, you know, they're kind of varied tech paths. They did a 3-gate speed lot timing upgrade push, or that's what they were planning, and the other one just went proxy DT. So I don't really know what to really anticipate from these players. It's kind of hard to tell, because there's so much tech you can get after the side record. If he puts down a second gate right here, then it's probably gonna identify dragoons. He may just, you know, put down a pylon again randomly on the map, put down a citadel. He could put a citadel right after this. So there's a lot of options that PvP has open to them. So we'll see what their plans are gonna be. I probably like 1 of 4 main options, because I probably the less options, probably the 3-gate Zealot timing with speed, but it's viable again. It's normally just a hard counter any kind of goon play, but we just have a fast robo for obs. It could be support bay as well, as he's still mining gas. And okay, there goes on the second gas. So yeah, this is the second gate, so this is definitely going to be a obs probably. And again, Temp0 is just getting up his robo now, a little bit, definitely a lot more delayed than his Protoss counterpart, because this is almost done, and he already has a second gate out. So, and I'm not seeing any proxies on this map, so I don't know what Temp0 is actually really doing. I guess he's making more units, I guess. I mean, I saw, okay, that's the reason why, because actually Temp0 has no army. He has no army, and he has 2 gates. He has 2 zealots, never mind, okay. I was gonna say, if he had no army, that would be a little odd for PvP. Is he gearing up for an expansion? Possibly. Is there another person here? UED something, rather? I saw another UED person here, maybe. Alright, anyway, so range is done, so it's gonna be goons. So they're going identical. Actually, now there goes down the support bay, okay. You know what he might do? He might do... Actually, this is probably more standard to go this. Again, there's so many build order tech paths in PvP that I just don't always remember all of them. But this actually looks a little bit more standard. More often than not, I see support bay faster than I see obs. I mean, I guess optimally, if you want to, if you went robo obs, get your shuttle out by the time you're about to put down support bay, get the obs out, and then do reaver, that might be an option as well. I'm not sure if that tech that pathing works out too well, but you get your obs out quicker. And like what we're saying here, we're actually seeing not range, I don't think. Yeah, where's the cyber core? He needed to have a cyber core. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so this is actually a different pathing right here. Again, like there's so many tech paths in PvP. What we see Temp0 doing, Temp0 is going for a, you know, range goons versus Reaver drop. Now, if this Reaver drop doesn't work, mmahirr is gonna be in a pretty bad spot, because now there's gonna be, you know, range goons coming at him. So I'm watching my ferret run around the room. He's tearing apart my shoe, but that's okay. And he's just starting to get his goons out. I mean, he has 1 goon and 2 zealots, so theoretically, when that shuttle's making its way, I'm paying attention on the minimap. Don't worry. But I'm just trying to figure what else is going on the map right now. I want Temp0 to pressure, but I guess he's just wanting to wait for time. Problem though is that this push is actually really powerful. 2 zealots and a Reaver. He sees this. Hopefully, does he react? Yes, he does react. What's that gonna hit? Does it hit anything? Yes, it does. Oh! There might have been a little bit more because they were probably all holding 9 pros were killed. No goons in sight. They're all going back. Buying enough time for mmahirr to probably just take an expansion of his own, or get more goons, whatever, what have you will. He's killing off pretty much everything. That shuttle will get away. The damage being done. Not only that, though, there's no expansion for him to like go remine at. So he's actually just not mining at all right now. He's actually just not mining. Okay, what happened? I turned my head for half a second, and I realized I'm in a pitch black zone. You know what I think what Temp0 should do right now is I think he literally should put down 2 more gates and then just push. That's really his only option. At this point, he can try to pressure now. I don't like him pressuring now. I think he needs to get up to 4 gates and then pressure. Because right now, with that Reaver potentially, is he gonna snipe it? That's gonna get really, really close, guys. And he gets away stupidly, or sadly. And he's left 3 goons right over there. He needs every goon he has. And the problem is he's only have 2 gates, and he's not mining. He's not producing anything. What is Temp0 doing right here? That, I think his best option is just to put down 2 more gates and go for it. But he could, potentially, I guess, take an Expo. But he's investing in a Reaver tech, which, you know, I don't see it working too much, because the whole reason why that Reaver drop worked so effectively for Temp0, or for mmahirr, is one of 2 reasons. 1, it was earlier in the game. 2, Temp0 was completely out of position for it. I mean, like, I'm not sure if he realized that, but that's the reason why it's so effective here. And going in here with only 2 gate goons, trying to pick off the Reaver here, it's actually going to make him end up losing his army here, which now means when this Reaver, whenever it bobs out, when it goes to the shuttle, is now just going to be absolutely worthless, because unless we're going to have a completely flip side of what happened, where mmahirr will be completely out of position, but I just don't see that happening. I mean, he's already off of 3 gates anyway, so, I mean, more than likely, a goon or 2 is going to be popping out by the time that the shuttle's there anyway. Now, of course, you might get some damage on it. I just don't like this Reaver drop, because he needs an army to really deal with this, and the most stable way to come back from this is to trade armies, and then just so both players potentially sit back and, you know, take an Expo. Alright, so he's gonna take an Expo. So he's gonna do an Reaver drop behind Expo. Okay, that's not bad. That's not a bad option. I don't mind that. Alright, so here comes the Reaver drop inbound. We'll see if it's gonna get a good amount of damage here. That's not the greatest shot either. And there's already goons in position. I mean, look at that. I mean, he didn't even lose any mining time at all. I mean, the damage... Okay, so he's actually back for round 2. You know, it's kind of sad, because if you ever play StarCraft 2 Brood War, it's just a custom game on StarCraft 2, where they pretty much, a guy made a custom game that was literally just Brood War with StarCraft 2 UI and mechanics and stuff like that. It's literally the same game. It's just the UI isn't dumb. But it's funny, because if you get a Reaver on a ledge in StarCraft 2 Brood War, you could actually shoot a Scarab down. So this would be the most rigged thing if you was able to shoot down a Reaver right there. That'd be excuse me, a Scarab. So still only have 2 gates though. Still only have 2 gates. And I want to look at our Harvester difference here. 19 to 20 to 28. So I mean, there's a good 9 Harvester difference right there. He needs to start making those things. I guess he just doesn't have the economy that I think I'd like him to have for Tempo. And it goes back down to the Reaver drop. And he's not making probes. He's making an army. So I still think he could probably put down 2 more gates. Because, I mean, that's not bad saturation off 1 base right there. 2 base, it's not that great. But off 1 base, going a 4 gate all in would be terrible. But here at this point, I mean, there's going to be... mmahirr is going to have the equivalent of like 4 gates soon anyway, so especially with that second base kicking in. But Tempo is, holding his own. He has his own Reaver, thankfully. And the Reaver itself is totally fine. It's totally great. I like this play. He's doing decisions that I probably wouldn't do. And we're even having... shuttle speed come up right now, so it's actually people are gonna have this is gonna be like a mid-game PvP where it involves around I guess just mainly Goon and Reaver, but eventually start mixing in Zealots in the mix too eventually, because when you're pushing up ramps you really need to get Zealots in there, because Goons aren't really a great thing for going up ramps, especially on this map, because like this is like a single file ramp for Goons versus like 2 or 3 for Zealots. So instead of going single file, you can go in like by pairs and stuff like that, so it definitely helps. Okay, there we go on the 4th gate right there. Do we have an upgrade advantage by the other player? No, we don't. And it looks like we have another base coming down. Yep. Down here. This is a lesser taken 3rd. Because it is more difficult to hold off, especially in this matchup, because a proper SimCity doesn't actually really help you at all. Cannons don't really help you much in this matchup, as much as you think it would, because Goons just are so good against cannons anyway. I mean, they're static defense nonetheless, but Dragoons are really, really good units to take out static defenses, because they're not in range of them as much as you would think, because they have such a long range. Instead of like running into like Marines running into cannons, for example, and not to mention they have a ton of HP. The Goons could just start firing like right when the sunken or cannon or I guess bunker actually starts firing. So putting that in perspective here, instead of the Marine going in there taking 2 shots from the sunken cannon or whatever, now that Marine / unit is actually attacking that static defense. So it's actually not bad. That's why this 3rd isn't as taken as often. But you do get a gas with it versus a gasless 3rd up here. So I guess it's just all what you really want to have happen here. And I guess mmahirr is just checking for any kind of far up base there. 102 supply to 90. He's supply blocked right now, which might be the reason why. They're both up to 4 gates here. And we're getting Templar archives for Tempo here. And it looks like we did have double upgrades going. It's just +1's finished for mmahirr right now. And he's getting Storm right now. So that Templar archives might be for Storm. It might be for DTs. Honestly speaking, I really don't know if Tempo thinks he's behind. If he thinks he's behind, he's going to go DTs. If he thinks he's even, then he's probably going to go High Templar. If he thinks he's like even with his opponent right here. But we'll see. I mean, of course, I can be completely wrong and stuff like that. And again, me talking about Tempo's like, choice and stuff earlier on, I apologize for making it sound that I was bashing on the guy. I'm really not. I'm just trying to honestly just talk about it because it's a fairly passive PvP, so I'm just trying to expand on some thoughts, and sometimes it may appear that I'm bashing on a player that I'm really not. So we got Templar Tech. He's just not utilizing it right now, which I guess it's safer to have it than not have it, but why bother getting it at that point? But hey, whatever. I mean, it's 111 supply to 121, so it's fairly even PvP. But there is a base that is operational for mmahirr right here, so that is a pretty big factor in terms of that. We have a 5th gate going up. I mean, these are pretty low gateway counts at this point in the game. Because theoretically, it's because mainly, I mean, at least for mmahirr, the reason for that is because he's getting double upgrades going, and he's been teching a little bit. For Temp0, he's only off of 4 gates, 5 gates, 6 gates now. He's been also teching. Okay, so he's getting storms, so he's not getting DTs, but he's not getting upgrades, which is the reason why he's probably getting a 6th gate right now. He really needs to start getting those upgrades because there's a really big upgrade advantage. Or no, okay, no, they're even now. I thought +2 plus mmahirr was 2-1. But anyway, look how much stuff is on screen right here. It's hard to say, but I think mmahirr is going to have the better surface area to really engage this. Nice storm going down right there, stopping up that army. Alright, but we have zealots here that came to the deciding factor sometimes in this because goons actually micro back, which means your goons have more shots shut off, but it looks like there's just too much DPS from mmahirr, and he's going to take that battle here. Is that the end game? It might be. We do have a lot of storm available for defensive purposes here, but the also thing you have to note though is that this army is actually, you know, a lot bigger. He has a 3rd base, and if mmahirr wants to take a 3rd base here, mmahirr's gonna know about it if he goes right here, or if he goes down here, it's gonna be way too exposed. So there's really no option for him to take a 3rd base here, which is kind of the main factor why this is gonna make it very difficult for Temp0 from this part of the game here. He can try to defend for as long as he can with the storms. I mean, he's making more and more storms here. I mean, he has a ton of storms. But sadly, though, this wasn't part of his army, which could have been a really big factor in, you know, winning that battle, or, you know, making it not as one-sided to mmahirr. But I think mmahirr is just going to go for the kill right here. Yeah, there's a GG. And good game nonetheless, guys. It was an epic PvP. And, guys, I'm going to go on to the next series in Group E. It has been real, so it has been a quick 2-0 for mmahirr right here. So, great games nonetheless, guys, and awesome PvP. Fit signing out, and we'll go on to our next series. Peace, guys. Thanks for watching.